us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Welcome to an all-new Lay It Omni. Allow me to lay it on you. What's up guys, happy Sunday, hope you're having a beautiful day. Today I'll be delivering you guys another episode of Nintendo Sucks Donkey Nuts the anime. In case some of you weren't aware, here's the recap. About 3 weeks ago, Nintendo recently shut down a huge online Smash tournament because it uses a tool named Slippy. Slippy is a tool that lets anyone play Super Smash Bros. Melee seamlessly due to a rollback netcode that is in it. In layman's terms, you can play someone from really far away with basically little to no lag at all. Anyway, once this happened, the Melee community got big mad and started throwing the hashtag SaveSmash and hashtag FreeMelee hashtags to generate awareness and support of Nintendo's ruthless move. Mind you guys, this comes during a time where everyone is currently on lockdown and the only realistic way to play games with your friends right now is via online. Nintendo responded with this. Nintendo appreciates the love and dedication the fighting game community has for the Super Smash Bros. Series. We have partnered with numerous Super Smash Bros. Tournaments in the past and have hosted our own online and offline tournaments for the game, and we plan to continue that support in the future. Unfortunately, the upcoming Big House tournament announced plans to host an online tournament for Super Smash Bros. Melee that requires use of illegally copied versions of the game in conjunction with a mod called Slippy during their online event. Nintendo therefore contacted the tournament organizers to ask them to stop. They refused, leaving Nintendo no choice but to step in to protect its intellectual property and brands. Nintendo cannot condone or allow piracy of its intellectual property. Now guys, many of the lines here were quickly debunked as it was proven that number one, it does not require the use of illegally copied versions of the game. In fact, the Big House has purchased over hundreds of GameCubes and Melee discs over their tenure as a tournament organizer. And number two, Slippy itself is not a mod of Super Smash Bros. And finally, there were twitlongers that were released that were basically exposing Nintendo's bad practices and basically showing that Nintendo has been secretly suppressing the Smash community over the past couple of years. So yeah, it's been 3 weeks and now you're all caught up. Yesterday, the Splatoon community joined in on the protest during the North American December Community Open. Teams named themselves the hashtag FreeMelee to bring attention to the movement. A little bit later, a Splatoon TO by the name of Slimy Quasguire tweeted, "So the Splatoon community in support of the Smash community has 30% of the top teams in this weekend's Splatoon NA Open with team names in support of Melee and Smash." So what does @Nintendo America @Nintendo Versus do in response? They canceled their live stream for tomorrow's finals. Kind of funny that they'll sever their own support that they love to parade around as something so fantastic just because the Splatoon community wanted to stand in solidarity with the other scenes that Nintendo outright harms. Hashtag FreeMelee, hashtag SaveSmash. And guys, you can see in this screenshot it says, due to unexpected executional challenges, we had to forego a live stream for this tournament's finals. And here in this screen cap, you can see some of the team names. You got Melee Tation, you've got hashtag FreeMelee211, you've got hashtag FreeMelee227, you've got Element FreeMelee. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, Slimy goes on to say, to be clear, this is Nintendo's call, not any of the TOs or broadcasters they've enlisted for the weekend. This is damage control and outright a spit in the face of all of their dedicated competitive scenes. So we ain't surprised, lol, hashtag Nintendo hates you, hashtag FNintendo, hashtag FreeMelee. Slimy also left with this specific message to the community. We'd like Nintendo to support all of their grassroots communities actively, but if they are unable to do that, at minimum we'd like them to not continue their long-standing record of blocking community development and growth through C&Ds, threats, broken agreements, or discouragement of third-party community investors. Communities have been over backwards for years to try to encourage Nintendo to get involved, but after years of failed attempts and their continued community harm, it's hard to imagine a positive relationship going forward. Supporting the community could mean supporting third parties to create tournaments with proper prize pools, putting real prizes towards their tournaments, and just at a minimum, recognizing their games for their esports potential. It includes valuing the work of TOs and community volunteers as something to take pride in and support. Organizers have put in thousands of hours and dollars into making events that benefit Nintendo directly and encouraging folk to buy the game, to continue to play the game, etc. Instead of supporting these folk, Nintendo have actively tried to squish any sort of innovation or larger development of not just the competitive communities, but the casual ones as well. It's important to note, however, that much of this lack of support and active harm has been limited to Nintendo of America. Nintendo of Europe has a history of actively supporting and running LANs, and Nintendo in Japan has been incredibly involved and supportive of that community development. Nintendo has sent about 2 tweets per LAN event that have sponsored and occasionally provided DOT for some tournaments in exchange for tournaments following their explicit rules and providing advertisements that they control. They often have come through at the last second for this support, leaving organizations running events to flounder to find hardware and sponsors last minute and not being able to set rules properly. This runs the gambit from shutting down specific games at tournaments through often vague threats to TOs, something that's become public more recently, to whether or not game music can be played on stream at all. Even things as minimal as whether some songs can even be played next to each other. Decisions are usually made behind closed doors and not explained to the community plainly and solely done through legalese, not even acknowledging the harm that they've done if they acknowledge their behavior at all. NDAs frequently have strangled TOs involved in being able to explain decisions made. Nintendo's involvement in most of their game communities has been a bait and switch situation. They hang the idea of active involvement in front of TOs and third-party organizations so that concessions they want are made at the expense of thriving community and then pull out their support at the last minute. Splatoon and Melee and Ultimate in Arms can all dream of amazing game utopia, of supported paid tournaments where players can make a proper living off their tournament involvement and where tournament organizers can actually be employees rather than volunteers. We're all dreaming right now, and that continues to be proven time and time again. We love to have Nintendo actively support us or even listen to the community, but they aren't willing to come to the table. It's quixotic to spend this emotional energy and bending backwards to please a company that when push comes to shove will continue to cause harm. It's time to recognize that we're all dreaming, or for Nintendo to meet us at the table. Since then, a group known as Endgame TV stepped forward and announced that they will be rehosting the event that Nintendo has decided to cancel with their own prize pool today, Sunday at 1:00 p.m. In response, several prominent members of the Smash community have shoutcasted the stream in support, with members like Vish who have actually donated $1,000 to the prize pool. If you woke up this morning, you probably would have noticed that hashtag Free Splatoon is now trending on Twitter. Here are a few of the top tweets. Squix tweeted Smash and Splatoon at the moment, hashtag Save Smash and hashtag Free Splatoon. And it has the Smash community and the Splatoon community with hands together getting cancelled by Nintendo. Fatality tweeted, adding hashtag Free Splatoon to my profile after Nintendo shut down a Splatoon tournament stream simply because some of its participants had hashtag Free Melee related tags. It's honestly ridiculous how far the company has gone to shut down people enjoying their games and competition. At Shazaz tweeted, Shuntaro Furukawa may not feel the blowback from this now. Managing record sales for Animal Crossing and 3D All-Stars must make him and the other top dogs feel rather mighty. But these actions will eventually catch up to them, and it will be much harder to fix it. Hashtag Free Splatoon. Infinite Dog tweeted, hashtag Free Splatoon, hashtag Free Melee. Nintendo must really hate their fans, huh? And it's a picture of Clown Mario looking at a laptop. Tamahiro tweeted, Nintendo is determined to come out of this year as villains. Hashtag Free Splatoon, hashtag Free Melee Nintendo. Fizzy tweeted, amazing. Guess they thought it was a good idea to generate more community frustration instead of acknowledging the issue and how backwards their take on competition is. Hashtag Free Melee, hashtag Free Splatoon. And finally, Axe tweeted, wow, Nintendo actually canceled their stream for Splatoon NA Open due to players using Free Melee in their tag. The Splatoon community has my absolute respect. I am so upset with Nintendo that I can't even find the words, it's just awful. Hashtag Free Melee, hashtag Save Smash, hashtag Free Splatoon. So guys, basically we have another example of Nintendo's outdated and barbaric business practices where they basically take massive dumps onto their gaming communities. It's really cool seeing the Splatoon homies come up in solidarity to support the Smash community, given that they didn't have to. Splatoon and ARMS are actually games that Nintendo have been putting more time and energy into, pushing it into esports games, whereas Smash has kind of been treated like the adopted kid that nobody likes. But regardless, Nintendo is slowly but surely poisoning their own communities due to their stubbornness to properly address their actions. This isn't the first time Nintendo has done this, by the way. They tried to shut down the largest Melee event of all time that was to be hosted at EVO years ago, and then they quickly recanted their decision after the entire Smash community raised over $100,000 for breast cancer research. So basically, the circle of life continues where Nintendo tries once again to destroy the Smash community. If you're still here, guys, here's the problem, alright? It's already been stated that Nintendo has been trying to suppress the Smash community from growing over the past decade or so through really sneaky backhanded practices that make it difficult for grassroots communities to keep things up. They don't entirely shut down the competitive Smash community, but they don't 100% support them as well. They basically have been stringing the community along in a way that feels like they're trying to manipulate the community to stay in basically a specific bucket. I like to also say that these are just all allegations, by the way, and I have no proof, but these are just statements that have been made by anonymous people on Twitter. Anyway, meanwhile, you've got the guys over at Nintendo Versus throwing all of their support and money into Splatoon and ARMS, okay? It's a pretty weird tightrope that the community is treading, but it appears the majority of the Smash community are tired of the same song and dance from Nintendo. At this point, the community is attempting to force Nintendo's hand into actually responding and owning up to their actions that are usually done in the background in a way that's usually hush-hush. Instead, their silence is slowly ruining the public image of Nintendo as a whole and making more and more people realize that just because a company makes amazing games doesn't mean that they have good business practices. Then again, you know, it is Nintendo, okay, everybody knows Nintendo's business practices are garbage, okay? Recently, there was that huge falling out about the release of Super Mario All-Stars for the Switch, in which they released 3 games that they've already made in the past for the Switch for, you know, $60, and for whatever reason, put an expiration limited time only sticker to it. Like, why, Nintendo? Why make a game available only for a limited amount of time? Like, do you need more money from the people during this 2020 pandemic and economic crisis? You spent how much time reporting these old Mario games into the Switch? Like, make it all make sense, Nintendo. That's basically what everyone is asking for Nintendo to finally to make it all make sense. The problem is that Nintendo is sitting on so much money and success that they probably don't have to. There's a good chance that they would rather rid themselves of the communities that helped popularize their biggest and largest selling game of all time, but instead they keep us because the Smash community is the #1 largest free marketing campaign for their game. I'm genuinely curious to see how this plays out. It seems the longer Nintendo sits on their thumb and pretends that nothing is happening, the worse things will get for them. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode. Laid on, you've just been laid. Moral of the story: Nintendo's business practices are garbage to do butter, and everyone is finally starting to smell it. Let me know what you guys think of the situation and the fiasco in the comments below, okay? Do you side with Nintendo or do you side with the Smash community? Okay, how do you feel about the whole situation? I'll be reading the comments below. I'm Audi, it's Sunday, okay? If you're watching this video when it releases, go check out the Splatoon tournament being hosted by Endgame TV at 1:00 p.m. Eastern today, okay? The link is in the description below. If you're with the movement, go show those guys some love. I personally love Splatoon. I did a 24-hour Splatoon stream when the game first came out. The game is fun and addictive as hell. But yeah, do me a solid. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a like. It means the world to me, okay? And subscribe if you guys haven't already. Your boy is trying to get to 200,000 subscribers by the end of the year. At this rate, it's going to be really, really close. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm doing my best. But I would appreciate if you guys just came through and subs, you know, for that daily content. You can leave after, okay, if you don't like me during this trial period. But yeah. Anyway, I'm out. You guys stay safe. You guys stay hydrated. And you have a good one.